Hello everyone. Now, usually I introduce these videos of the fandom name of the group that this video is about, but for today I'm hoping that we can have many fandoms here to learn about the situation, talk about it, experience it, look at this video, get the context, and spread awareness, because this is not just an Xdinary Heroes problem. This is something that could potentially affect groups in general. Now, if you don't know what this is about, well, you can stay right here because I'll explain it, and this video will as well. This was specifically requested by Coco Mel themselves. They messaged me on Instagram. They are also known as Gunil. I apologize if I totally butchered that, but I assume many people would know them by that name on social media as well, and they made this video. I'm not sure what exactly this video will totally address. I have not seen anything about this in terms of clips or anything from it. I'm just assuming it will explain the whole situation. But before we get into it, I do want to give my own thoughts and opinions. These are totally unscripted, so I apologize if I am just talking crazy, yapping. So I have various posts about just Xdinary Heroes in general from the last couple days, and I also made a video explaining how Gonil did nothing wrong and how I believe that he was wrongly forced out of the group, and I still stand by that. However, I think there was something that I should have addressed. No one called me out on it or anything, but it's just me reading posts and reading comments from other people and sort of getting more context, and there's something that I want to address, which is specifically the language that he used. And I'm not talking about swearing, I'm talking about the specific word that he used to describe the Sasaengs and the toxic fans. Now, I don't know what this word is in Korean. I have seen it, I just don't remember what it is. It takes me 15 minutes to sound out a single word. I know the alphabet, but it is hard for me. But even if I did know, I wouldn't say it. I have heard people explain this word as irredeemable in Korea because it is extremely misogynistic, and I've seen people try to find an equivalent in English. I know some people explain it as similar to the N-word, and I, in my opinion, don't feel necessarily like the N-word is irredeemable, just based off of my experience of seeing how people react to people saying the N-word, who shouldn't be saying it. In my opinion, just from that observation, it's not irredeemable. It's very clearly harsher than bitch, so, which again is not irredeemable. So it's very much harsher than that. I was thinking, is it similar to the F word for queer people? But again, I don't feel like that word is irredeemable. Is it sort of like slut or whore? But again, I don't feel like those are irredeemable in English. I think that's just words. Of course, I don't think you should be calling people that, but you know. So as a non-Korean who does not fluently speak the language, I have no idea of the context, and I have no idea of the impact that word has on Korean women. So I can't tell you if it truly is irredeemable or not. But apparently to K-villains, it is irredeemable because of their response and because of the company's response. Now, I just, as someone who is disconnected from that context, I just think it was too hasty of a decision to kick him out immediately. I think that once he was kicked, he was able to explain himself, and it's not like he was calling anyone that. He was calling specifically the people who broke into his home, tracked him, tracked his vehicle, and stalked and harassed him. And there's people spreading horrible rumors about him, horrible things, people putting so much pressure on them because of they gave a performance that they didn't like, even though it was still an incredible performance, something that they were proud of. I think that if he had used any other word, I don't think this would have happened. I just think that because he used that specific word to describe women, I think that just totally tanked everything. And personally, I don't know how I would react in that situation of getting my privacy completely just thrown out the window. People breaking into your home is so horrific. You do not know what these people are going to do. You don't know if they're going to put out cameras to watch you. You don't know if they're going to try to hurt you, you know? And that's so awful. And I can't tell you what I would say in that situation about those people. So it's hard to judge, again, without the context of being a Korean woman and without having experienced that. So, I say several times in my video and my post that he did nothing wrong. And I think I understand the hurt that people could feel that he would even use. Like, I get that he was talking about the people who were harming him, but it's also like, why that specific word did he have to use? You know? And it's hard to judge the situation because it's similar to, like, you know, if someone was hurt by a specific type of person and then that person who was hurt specifically called them a slur that was relating to their race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever it may be, why use that specific word? Why use something that's considered a slur or sexist, misogynistic? Why? It's like the R word making a comeback. I've seen it everywhere on the internet. It's like, why do you have to use that specific word when you can just call people stupid or idiot or dumb, which don't have nearly the amount of connotation of disrespect and just horrible use. And I don't know. I just can't say it's forgivable or not because, again, I'm not affected as a non-Korean woman. As a woman in general, knowing that it was extremely misogynistic, I don't know if this is my delusion talking or not, but I straight don't care. Just as a woman, I, again, don't know if we have an equivalent in English. I'm just imagining people calling me a slut or a whore or a prostitute or whatever, and I just don't care. So, as a woman, it doesn't hurt me at all. But again, I cannot speak for Korean women on how they feel about it because, again, the context and the connotation of that word specifically in Korean clearly has a much deeper meaning, way more hurtful than anything else. So, anyway, I don't know if that will be addressed here, but I just wanted to address that, give my thoughts about it, because I don't want people to kind of like get me wrong when I say he did nothing wrong, because I do still think that it was still a way too hasty of a decision by JYP Entertainment. And I do feel like if he had just came out and explained himself, he admitted to it fully. So it's not like he was, trying to hide it or try to double down or anything. He said it was wrong and he was just scared and mentally hurt and just, and again, it's not an excuse. It may be a reason, but it's not an excuse. And so I don't know. I think the whole situation just happened way too quickly. But anyway, again, I don't know what this video is going to address. I know that this intro was very long, and I apologize for that, but I'm just, like I said, it's not scripted, and I'm over here, like, like, freaking out a little bit just because I don't... Let me just get a sip real quick. It sucks, So, I'm sorry, I don't mean to... we haven't even started the video yet. Okay. And then the video that I'm going to record after this will be my reaction to both Gunil's and Junhan's birthday covers, because I never got to them. Well, Junhan's, of course, posted yesterday, so I didn't get to it, but I never got to Gunil's because I was going to do it for my 500 subscriber special, but I think I'm going to do those two in the next video. So when that video is posted, because it's a celebration of birthdays, I'm not going to really talk about this whole situation. I don't want to taint that celebration with all this talk. So that will stay in this video. But if you would like to go watch that video, I will link it down in the description once it is posted and all that stuff. And I will link this video and that video as well, just at least, you know, if people need to. Anyway. Okay, now that we're done crying, I don't know why I'm crying. I might cry again next episode, but that's okay. Once again, long intro aside, we're going to get into this video. Again, I don't know what specifically is going to be addressed, if they're just going to explain the whole situation, or if they're going to give their own thoughts or context. We're going to read this, and I will be reading it out as well. They did say that there's a lot of reading, so I will be pausing and reading, and I'm really hoping that fandoms can come together and discuss the situation and, you know, without hatefulness, because again, he said something horrible, and people were hurting him, and I think that that's just too much negativity. I just feel like we need to talk in a respectful way to each other. You know, I just hope that we can come together and try to change things, because it's not like he was saying this in a private moment to people that he thought, to someone he thought he could trust. And I understand again that that is an inappropriate word to use, but again, he was being hurt mentally, and his space was being invaded, and his privacy invaded, and his safety was being violated. And so, although I can understand why he said it, it doesn't mean that it should have been said. So I just hope that, you know, several fandoms can come together. We can listen to this, we can hear the context, hear the situation, and also I just really hope we can prevent things like this from happening in the future. I think people, of course, should still be careful with their words. I just don't think that word was necessary. But I understand why it happened. And it's very frustrating that the company has shown that they're going to totally disregard an idol's feelings for the fans who were the ones hurting the idol. So it sets a dangerous precedent, and I'm hoping that this doesn't happen in the future. I've heard people say about other idols recently, oh, you know, I'm glad this idol talked out, and more idols should do this. And I'm like, well, we saw what happens when an idol says harsh things in private. Can you imagine what would happen if fans or idols said harsh things in public? You know, it's scary for them. So let's just get into this. So we have the start here. Gunil's private messages insulting fans were leaked. Less than 24 hours later, JYP released this announcement. Yes. Yes. And I like that they say we have mutually agreed, and then Gunil immediately comes out and says, actually, no, it was not mutual at all. You guys, you're not my employers anymore, so I can say the truth, and it was not mutual at all. As of today, Gunil has left Xdinary Heroes. Why? Are the rumors true? Yeah. Here are the reasons Gunil supposedly deserved this. Wow. Okay, why is he problematic? 1. Being too woke. Oh. Should neighborhoods where many foreigners live, officially designated as special public safety zones? Main cause of crimes of nationality, there's factors like poverty and unemployment. Absolutely. Social atmosphere where immigrants and locals can integrate. Well, I've never seen this clip without any discrimination should be formed. I really want to ask about a solution that can address the fundamental problem here. Oh, okay, they're trying to interrupt him? And I think that him having the context of him living in America and seeing all of the different cultures that can coexist, I think coming back to Korea after that was like, oh, wow, this is kind of different, you know? It's not surprising that, okay, listen, I don't like to generalize. I really don't. Please don't take this as me saying that every person of this group is wrong or like this, but it's just, we know how a lot of Koreans are, okay? We know how Korea as a nation is, South Korea, I should say, and it's not surprising that the people here would have a problem with what he's saying. Again, please do not take this as me saying bad about every single Korean person. And again, I don't know what, like, I'm not trying to speak as an expert. I'm not trying to speak as someone with the knowledge or the experience. Please do not just take me at face value, take me with a grain of salt, all that good stuff.
대한민국은 외국인들 치안을 정말
Yeah.
보호해 주려고 하는
Tries to
나라다.
protect safety
근데
of
그
foreigners. You
실상은
realize foreigners
오히려
might actually
외국인들이
face
더 차별을 받을
discrimination,
수
which is
있는,
seen a
오히려
lot.
드러내봤을 때 생각보다 이거 고라 있는데 세계 나라에서
Yeah. His follow-up discussion, is there any country in the world where crime does not occur?
범죄가 일어나지 않는 나라가 있나요? 그 어떤 나라를
I think no matter what country you go to, you have to accept the risk associated with crime and public safety.
사실 그 범죄
Topic is actively attracting immigrants is needed to address the population crisis.
치안 그런 것들에 대한 위험은 안고 갈 수밖에 없다고 생각을 합니다.
That's the thing. He's just so well-spoken. Like, I know that we don't know these people. And I'm sure there's idols out there who say way worse in private. Like, you don't know these people. You know, especially, like I say, I'm not generalizing, but coming from a place like South Korea, when you have a nation that's known for being quite discriminatory, it's so he's just so well spoken. He's so open to hearing sides, and he's so open to growth that, like, it's hard for me to believe this may sound contradictory, but it's hard for me to believe he said that misogynistic word specifically in a misogynistic way. Like, I know that misogyny is misogyny, but it's like, kind of like when Junhan, he said something racist, but it wasn't in a maliciously racist way. It was pure ignorance. And he was educated real quick. But again, when it comes to racism, South Korea is like, oh, okay, well, you're fine. It's fine. When it comes to misogyny, it's like, oh, now y'all care about women? Okay. Anyway, okay. It's too much. So do I need to cut half this video out so I don't get canceled? Gunil wrote some of Xdinary Hero's hit songs by himself, wrote, composed tons of songs, arranged covers, could even play double pedals on drums, but who cares? He's not as popular as the other members, so he's disposable. Yes, exactly. He is definitely not, as popular as the other members. He eats,
푸짐 건일 시절이어가지고 대학교 졸업할 그때 진짜
yeah.
다이어트를 열심히 했어요. 제가 연생 들어갔을 때 한 70kg였거든요. 아직도 기억이 나요. 너무 힘들었어 그때. 그러다가 하루아침에 갑자기 이걸 싹 끊으려고 하니까 금단 현상이라고 하죠. 뭔가 중독되어 있는 걸 끊는다고 했을 때 진짜 배를 이렇게 움켜잡고 꼬르륵
It's horrible, the idol dieting culture.
그러면서 진짜 거의 10kg를 뺐죠. 근데 그때도 항상 나 뭘 하든 뭔가 얼굴이 나 뭔가 너무 다른 애들에 비해 커 보이고 막 그래가지고 막 되게 컴플렉스였는데.
That's so horrible. But also, it's like, he works out, and I don't know when all of these were posted, but it's like, if he works out, he's gonna gain weight because he's forming muscle. Just because you're eating better doesn't mean you're just gonna lose all the weight. It's like, if you're also actively working out, you will gain muscle mass. Like, you will gain weight. And so it's so horrible when people say, oh, you're like, BMI. That's why BMI is stupid, because it doesn't take into account what part of your body is fat and what part is muscle. It just goes based off of height and weight and gender, and age. So it's like stupid. So yes, he may be overweight compared to the average Korean man of his age range, but it's because he's also working out. Like, they just don't take that into account. It's so stupid. Not being happy 24/7, yeah.
미국 살면서 되게 힘들어 할 때여가지고 막 친구도 많이 없고 그랬을 때여가지고 되게 우울하고.
제가 정말 못난 리더여가지고 얘가 진짜 합주뿐만 아니라 정말 다른 것들 준비하는 것도 정말 많을 텐데 저는 뭐 그냥 드럼만 뒤에서 북만 이렇게 치면 되는데
Like, it's horrible that
볼
that's
때마다 너무
how he felt.
진짜 못 되어준 제가
Like, and this is just why, like, why do you think he had such a crash out? I mean, he truly believed that he was a horrible leader.
잘 못한 것 같더라고요. 쉽지만은 않았거든요. 늦은 나이에 들어와서 친구 하나 없이 정말 처음 뛰어들었는데 제가 대장이 돼가지고 뭔가 항상 앞서서 무언가를 해야 하고
Like, I'm already emotional. Please stop.
모범이 돼야 되는 그 자리에 있다는 게 굉장히 사실 부담스러운데 그래서 어떻게 해서든지 더 완벽한 사람이 되고 싶었고.
That's the thing. He never burdened anyone with his feelings. And I know people try to say, like, oh, well, JYP Entertainment has mental health services. First of all, why he's such in his head about not wanting to be a burden on people. Yes, he may logically know that those people's jobs is to help him through that, but again, he doesn't want to burden people. Second of all, this is what happens when he spoke in private. They kicked him out immediately. Who's to say that the therapists there would have not told him to just suck it up? Second of all, third of all, how do you know he didn't seek those services and found that it wasn't helpful, or they said certain things that he just didn't agree with, or whatever? You can refuse mental health services if you're not comfortable speaking to the person, you know? You should always be comfortable speaking to your therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever it is. So he just held it in so much that he said one word that he shouldn't have said. And this, I genuinely do think, like, some people have been speculating that maybe because the group wasn't making money, JYP Entertainment was just trying to take any opportunity to get rid of them. Or maybe Gunil was a little too, well, like this video says, a little too woke, a little too honest about his feelings, and maybe they were trying to get rid of him. There's speculation, and I'm not gonna say if I believe any of that or anything, but it's just like, these idols are and maybe he felt that, and so that's why he kept it all to himself. But these idols are expected to just hold it all in forever until what? We know what happens, you know? And it's horrible.
그래서 실수할 때마다 동생들한테 너무 미안하고.
And I know that the members are, you know, laughing. They're like, you know, he's crying. And I'm sure that they were feeling this as well. But on stage, they still want to make it entertaining. But like, the fact that he feels this way genuinely about himself is horrible. He, I'm sorry to say, he does look a little bit dramatic when he cries. I love him.
끝까지 6명에서
Don't even say that to me.
빌런즈가 빌리언이 되는 그날까지.
Being honest, exactly. Fans bullied him because they didn't like the Inspiring a Concert set list. They didn't even stop after he explained and apologized. Yeah. Like, everyone's pretty angry, but like, this will make them even angrier. That's the thing. Like, this is another reason why he just had to crash out, because I don't know if this is the same performance, but like, they performed a 3-hour concert and people were mad that they didn't play specific songs, and he was so proud of the performance. He went to go online to read what people are saying, and everyone's just saying how they're lazy, they should have played this, they should have played that, they didn't get to go out in the crowd, and that's not even their fault. Like, and then he explains, oh, I apologize, this is what was going on and stuff, and people are like, oh, this is like, I genuinely don't understand. Like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. His message: since debut, I just ignored unreasonable comments. If I keep pulling it in this time, I'm gonna die of stress. I mean, yeah. I appreciate the constructive feedback that is not swearing at me for their own ridiculous personal reasons. Exactly. Like, having constructive criticism is totally okay. And it's something I welcome. If there is something that I say, or something that I do, or whatever, if I have like information that's not correct, please let me know. I'm here for education. I'm here for community. Please let me know. But if you're going to swear at me or insult me, that's more so to do with you than it is for me. You're clearly angry about something, and ain't for me. Him saying this is so mature, and it's, again, another reason why Korean villains just didn't like him. You know, because all they want is everything to go right. And if it's not going right, all they want is for the idol to be just like crying and sobbing and being, oh, I'm so sorry, please forgive me. And it's just like, no, if you're writing swears, if you're cursing at him, if you're being so unreasonably angry, why do I have to sit here and listen to that? You know, for something that's not even his fault. Not his fault at all. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Yeah, I hope you play this song next time is always welcome. Exactly. Like, oh, you know, I wish this song would have played. Totally fine. We all have our favorite songs. But this set list makes it obvious you didn't even care about the concert isn't helpful. Like, that's so horrible to say. Every single concert that they have ever played was fully their full energy, their full passion. Yeah, it just feels like you're venting your emotions in an immature way because you're angry and annoyed. Exactly. And again, it's nothing to do with you. They take everything so personally. And by they, I just mean idiot fans, not anyone specific. I just, it's so horrible that he feels this way, and I know that the other members are probably feeling awkward, but it's just like they have to, I'm sure, well, they probably also feel it as well. But again, he never really confided like that towards any of the members, because again, he didn't want to burden them. So maybe they didn't actually know fully his full extent of what he was feeling. They just kind of had the surface level. Right. Choosing his friends wrong. Oh, good. Oh, I think I heard about this. Chat with the Guy was also leaked. They met at church in 2024. He used Gunil's fame in various ways to meet his fans, make money, etc. Yeah. Once Gunil realized he was being used, he cut ties with him, but somehow Gunil should still be the one blamed, right? Yeah, sure. Wow. Being transparent and honest. Again, it's always his honesty. They just don't like his honesty, I genuinely believe. Because they're not as huge as other groups, so they don't have that security of being honest, you know? But yes, this is part of his message was, I truly wanted to remain an Xdinary Heroes member until the very end, and I wanted to protect the 6-member Xdinary Heroes, but as you know, I have no choice but to accept the company's decision. If this is after being fired, where he doesn't have to sugarcoat anything, or he's being monitored to, this is him, raw, real, this is the truth. He had no choice. It was a forcible removal. But I'm no longer a member of Xdinary Heroes. I don't want to hide the truth or make excuses just to protect myself. Exactly. I was mentally exhausted from the malicious comments and false stories about me that had been going on for some time. Exactly. And then rather than burdening the people close to me, I found it easier at that point to confide my frustrations in a stranger who didn't know me well. The person who made the inappropriate remarks about fans was me. And again, they call themselves fans, but they're really not. They're just idiots. There's no problem with wanting them to play specific songs because of your favorite song, But to just be so hurtful for no reason. Imagine being so privileged that they get concerts and festivals constantly. That is such a privilege. And then internationally, we get something once a year, maybe twice a year for like the surrounding areas. It's horrible. It's so bad. Yeah. And I understand also his perspective of not wanting to burden someone close, so you kind of confide in a stranger. I think that's what some people find sort of cathartic about going to therapy, or, going to anonymous forums and stuff and just venting, because it's like you don't know these people don't know you, they have no context of your life, you just want to get it out. But then you do that, and now it's not so private. And then this happens. It's awful. But again, a stranger who he didn't know very well, I mean, he's already had other people using him for his fame and money. It's very sad that it's not surprising this happened as well. And also, I did hear, I don't know if this will be addressed in here, but that same person has also been spreading horrible, disgusting things about Junhan. And so I don't know why anyone is taking anything this person says seriously. Like, genuinely horrific things this person is saying about Junhan. I don't know if they've said anything about the other members as well, but I saw some comments about Junhan. It was genuinely sickening. And I was like, I cannot believe that this person is even still allowed to be talking, like, uttering these people's names. Like, they should have been, like, again, JYP Entertainment, protect your artists. Like, what the freak is this? This is disgusting. I'm not even gonna say their name. I'm not gonna say anything they said. It was horrible. But, oh, I wish I had more, oh my gosh. How long ago was I? Guys, you didn't tell me. I'm so sorry. I'm over here ranting, and you guys can't even see me. I'm so sorry. Wish I had more drink, because I'm about to crash out. I'm about to freak out. I'm about to start crying constantly. I'm shaking, and I'm so sorry. I need a new camera. I've been slowly trying to save up for one. But anyway. Horrible, 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 horrible. Yes. Earlier this year, sussing fans broke into our dorm, put a GPS tracker on my personal vehicle, followed me around, developed a lot of fear and resentment. That's the thing. Like, would you not hate the person who's stalking and harassing you and breaking into your home? People are like, oh, he shouldn't have said such mean things. It's just like, what, he's supposed to say, oh, I love these people? Yes, please come break into my house again? Like, genuinely, what the freak? But yes, resentment towards certain malicious fans, and I went through a very difficult time emotionally, but I was also the leader, so I couldn't easily talk about my fears or anxiety. Exactly. And again, the specific word he used, probably shouldn't have used, but I can't even imagine what he was going through. After our Inspire Arena concert, I checked social media with excitement. See, this is what he was talking about. He was so proud of his performance. But that day I saw many malicious posts that went far beyond opinions or criticism of the performance, things that were difficult for us to understand. I was emotionally crushed by the malicious comments that I never expected to see, but I didn't want to worry the staff or members. Yeah, I'm like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So I opened up to someone I had only known for a short time, and I said things that were far too harsh and wrong without holding back. I never imagined that our conversation would be recorded and made public. However, regardless of whether it was made public or not, I clearly understand that the fact that I said those things was wrong. Yes, and I agree. I genuinely do think that what he said was pretty horrible. Knowing that the context is in Korea, it is extremely misogynistic and horrible. And so you have to wonder, like, why specifically that word? But I just can't imagine how he was feeling. And he's felt these things for years. I mean, there was clips in there from the Overload concert from like 3 years ago. I can't even. He was holding this in for years. Years and years. And it's just so bad. And he acknowledges that. It was horrible. It was wrong. Shouldn't have said it. But it was in private, and you just expect private conversations to stay private, you know? People I was referring were some malicious fans who recklessly attacked us and invaded our privacy. Around that time, I was going through a difficult period emotionally for various reasons. I also met that person around that time, and it is true that I relied on them to some extent when I was struggling. I want to make one thing absolutely clear. I was not saying those things about the villains I truly loved and trusted. Exactly. It was not about the people who were actually supportive of the group. It was solely to the people who said horrible things, did horrible things, committed actual crimes, by the way. Like, actual crimes. I sincerely want to apologize to my fans. I know that simply saying I'm sorry cannot fully express the hurt I have caused, nor can it undo it. Gunil's message, yeah, okay. I will never forget the love you gave me or the memories we made together. Thank you sincerely for loving and supporting someone as imperfect as me. Although I couldn't give you a beautiful ending, thanks to villains, I'm leaving with so many happy moments in my life that I will never be able to forget. And wherever I may be in the future, I will also forever support and cheer for your lives. Please continue to love and support our Xdinary heroes. All 5 members are precious, wonderful, and lovable younger brothers to me without exception. I will now take a step back and support them from behind. I poured everything I had into Xdinary heroes and villains. I truly loved it all, and I love you all so much. Thank you for sharing my youth with me. Yep, and whatever decision that Xdinary heroes makes, I will support as well. I won't be doing... I'll just explain it afterwards if you guys care. I really, really loved you all so much, villains. Please stay healthy and take good care of yourselves. Yep. And the thing is, when he addressed those fans after the Inspire Arena concert, his response was so mature and so honest, but in such a respectful way that, like, he never said anything horrible publicly. And so that's why I also just don't believe that he really meant, again, he said a misogynistic word, but I just don't think he really meant it like that. And again, it was only towards the people who literally committed a crime and towards the people who were saying horrible, horrible things about him and spreading rumors. And I just don't believe that he truly meant, like, the intent behind that word. You know? It was more so just, he was so frustrated, like, what's the worst word I can think of? And he just said it. You know? So, again, he shouldn't have said it, but I can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. He is so mature. Like, he said, the things that he said have just been so mature that it's just hard for me. Just hard for me. If you want to read any of these, you can pause. Just so hard for me to believe that he hates women or anything like that. It's just the people who broke in and harassed him and stuff just happened to be women, and he just said a word that was offensive towards women. Yeah, here are all his messages and stuff. Yeah. I did want to address something. They made a top comment as well. So, I originally originally thought, because of the translation of his message, that the person who he confided in was someone he dated for a couple weeks. Now, afterwards, I was thinking Koreans use the word date, the translated equivalent, as hangout. You know, just like an outing with friends. They say we're going on a date all the time, and it's not romantic. So I don't believe that it was a girlfriend. Maybe for a couple days I did, but now I'm just like, I think it was really just someone he met up with that they didn't date. They just hung out for a couple weeks, you know? So to all the people saying like, oh, it was his girlfriend of 2 weeks, I don't think it was. I think it truly was. And did he say the gender? I don't even know if people just assumed, like, I don't know. But I don't personally believe at this point that it was someone he romantically dated. So that was this sort of context. And yes, they said that as well. Everyone's saying it's Gunil's ex-girlfriend, but didn't mention them being partners. They just met and it lasted for 2 weeks. And also, it doesn't really matter. I also agree. It doesn't matter if it was his girlfriend, if it was his friend, if it was his boyfriend, his male friend. It doesn't matter if it was his mom. You know, what matters is that his private conversations were leaked. He happened to say something that was horrible, and that was leaked, and he got fired. So who it was doesn't really change the situation at all. And their relationship doesn't change the situation at all. Just to make that clear. And now that the video is over, we've got context. We have, you know, past behaviors, recent behaviors. I just don't know. Now here's kind of where I talk about my feelings on the future and the group now. Do I think Gunil will be back within JYP Entertainment and within the group? No. I think that because who he hurt was Korean fans specifically, he is gone for good. Will Xdinary Heroes continue as 5 for a while? Yes, they do have an event coming up, and they are performing as 5. They will probably have a fill-in drummer. They will probably have a fill-in drummer for forever. Do I think that they're going to replace and put a permanent drummer in there? Or, like, add a member to the group? No. I think it will just be a fill-in drummer, maybe various fill-in drummers, whoever's available at the time, whatever. That's what I think. Will I continue supporting Xdinary Heroes? Yes. However, I won't be watching any official content from the channels. Now, if people provide videos to me, I will watch those, but I will not myself go onto the JYP Entertainment channel or the Xdinary Heroes official channel. I will not be watching content from them anymore. So, just to make that clear in a cryptic way. Do I think Xdinary Heroes will reunite in the future? Maybe. The members being Korean, they also understand the context behind that word that he used, so I don't know how they feel specifically about the situation. I'm sure, of course, they are hurt, and I'm sure they're sad that he was kicked, but I can't tell you if they feel like it was justified or not for Gunil to use that word, or for the company to kick him out immediately. I don't know their feelings. So, I couldn't tell you if they wanted to stay associated with him. Clearly, Gunil will be supportive of the group, but in terms of if they want to continue associating with him, I couldn't tell you. Do I wish? Of course. I hope that they do, in some ways, stay fans, or at the very least, remember each other for when the future comes, but I couldn't tell you if I really think the group will reunite in the future or not. I know that Xdinary Heroes, the current 5 members, have contracts until 2028, and so unfortunately, unless they want to pay heavy fines, they will be stuck with JYP Entertainment for a while. I know Gunil's got to go to military soon. He didn't technically take dual citizenship with America, so he is still a Korean citizen. He is still a Korean man who has to go to military, so he will probably be going soon. I don't know if he'll be on social media announcing that, or if he's just going to go quietly. I don't really know what I prefer. Maybe I just kind of prefer that he goes quietly, just so that people don't try to send him a bunch of hate and stuff, but I also kind of want him to announce it, like, on his own personal accounts or channels, just so that we can know and know where he's at and what he's up to. I don't think that the members will address it at all. I think that they're being heavily monitored. I think that I couldn't tell you if they wanted to move on or not. Like I said, I don't know how they feel about the situation specifically, but I just think that they're just gonna move. Like, they're publicly going to just move on and continue on. Because again, Gunil said something in private, he got kicked out immediately. I don't think they really want to take that chance. So, if you have any questions for me specifically, how I feel, or anything specific of what I think in the future, please let me know down in the comments. I will gladly answer those, just because I can't really think of anything else too much. What do I hope for? I also have a question of, when an idol has a contract with the company and they go to military, let's say that they have 2 years left of the contract. Does the military time use up that contract time, or does that put it on hold? I'm thinking maybe it puts it on hold, unless it's a specific date that they say the contract's gonna end. I have no idea how contracts work. I have no idea how idol contracts work. So please let me know in the comments, because if it runs up the contract time, they should all just go to military for 2 years, come back and leave the company, you know? That's what I'm hoping for, is that maybe in the future, if they do still want to be associated with Gunil and they want to reunite with him, I'm hoping that in the future, once their contract runs up, that they just leave. And it would be very nice if they could reunite with Gunil and become a sort of independent band. That is sort of like my dream for the future. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't really know. But, and if the 5 members then decide to stay with JYP Entertainment after their current contract runs up, I will support them in that decision as well. That is within their right. If they feel that that's the way to have security within their career, budget to continue making music, that is totally within their right, and I will support that as well. But again, at the moment, I'm not going to be doing official JYP Entertainment or Xdinary Heroes content. This video was super long. I apologize. I was just yapping the whole time, but I think that this is an important thing to discuss. I'm really hoping that other fandoms were here as well. Please let me know down in the comments if you guys are from other fandoms. If you don't feel comfortable saying which fandom, totally fine. But just let me know you're all here. Let me know what you guys think. We can talk sort of about what this means for the future of idols and how they have to address sasaengs and toxic fans and harassment and stuff, and it's pretty scary. So I know I say sasaeng different like every time. Sasaeng, sasaeng, I don't know. I'm not great at Korean. But yeah, so I think that I'm done for now. Again, I will also post my reaction to Gunil and Junhan's solo birthday covers, so I will link that video in the description if you would like to watch it. And, you know, of course, shout outs to Coco Mel. I will, of course, link them down in the description. I will link this video as well. Please go watch it. Please support it. Please spread it around. Share it to people. Get the message out of this experience, this situation. But yeah, so I was recording for 51 minutes watching a 7-minute video, and my throat hurts because I've been talking for an hour straight. So Xdinary Heroes is 6. You know, and I fully believe that. And it's very unfortunate, this whole situation. So, yeah, just please be kind in the comments, whether you agree or disagree. I welcome all conversation as long as it stays civil and respectful. Any insults thrown, any cursing at people, anything like that, absolutely not. But I welcome any conversation, whether you agree or disagree. Please discuss in the comments. I read all comments, so I will know if you're being crazy down there. So, I don't really know how to end this video, because I guess you can watch my video where I cry about Gunil. I will put that there. You can watch that if you like. And yeah, I'll see you in the future, whatever videos I'm making. So yeah, bye.